The coach with the most pressure on them coming into the season. We saw coaches last year under the season with pressure, and look what Kevin Keats was able to do. He made it all the way in the Final Four. Fire.
Penny Hardaway. Remember, we had this conversation, RC, a year ago.
We did.
I think now's the time.
We did.
I think now's the time you come clean and you apologize to me for my question of, is Penny Hardaway the right guy to lead this Memphis program going forward? Because I think it was a valid question. I'm not saying it was 100% at that point. I just think, again, when you look at the data of these former NBA guys that have a lot of money in their bank account, and yeah, he coached middle school, he coached some AAU ball, he did pay his dues a little bit. Most of them have not panned out. Penny Hardaway looks like the latest in that scenario. Last year we had Juwan Howard and Stackhouse get axed. This year it could be Penny Hardaway. They didn't make the tournament last year. Their roster doesn't look overwhelmingly good. Their backcourt's pretty good, but we don't know how good it really is yet.
I think they'll be in the tournament this year. I think they're good.
Sticking to your guns, huh?
I'm sticking to my guns.
I'm
not backing
Until
off.
it's over, it's not over.
It's not over.
Right.
It's not over. They're
That's
talented
fair.
enough to get in. Yeah. So
I mean, not to be mean and push back, but in that league, they should be the team.
But he plays a hell of a non-conference schedule.
He's got to, like
year.
Gonzaga now.
No, he does.
He's got to take that Gonzaga approach.
I think they'll win some high major games. I think they're a talented group. The biggest knock on Penny, and it makes it look bad, is that the coaching changes. The perception of everything with the coaching changes and everything that goes on. That's just a bad look.
Tyrese Hunter, P.J. Haggerty,
I do.
Dane Danger.
How do you trust the guy in P.J. Haggerty? No offense to him, but like he put up numbers for a bad, not a very good team. So like we don't know yet. We don't know if that translates. Tyrese Hunter still hasn't proven to be much of a shooter yet. I'm not sold. I'm not sold.
Well, since I've drawn the line and said I'm staying on this side of college basketball, I guess I have to answer this question, right?
Hey, big day.
Because normally I would talk about like winning is hard.
Hey,
the microphone.
What's that Homer Simpson meme? He just starts back.
Winning is hard dead.
Media Matt is back.
Winning is hard is not dead. But look,
winning is hard.
Like there's no. It's hard to pick a guy. The reason you pick Penny right now is just because of what just transpired. I don't know if we
tiptoe around this, McCall. You're all in.
I don't think we've ever seen a head coach fire his entire staff 3 weeks before the season,
That's
4
bad.
weeks before the season. I mean, the guys have been practicing for 3 weeks now. So just from the standpoint of that's the one you have to put out there. Just on the standpoint of that, it's just the noise. Now, he goes out and wins 25 games. They get to the Sweet 16. That's a different story. And he's a good coach. And I've said Penny's a good coach, and I've been saying it since he was coaching AAU basketball. But with the noise that's around there right now, it's hard not to pick him.
Penny aside, Kyle Neptune at Villanova needs to do something.
Mm-hmm.
I think if there wasn't all the nonsense in the preseason with firing the coaches, Kyle Neptune would be the only topic of conversation with this one. Because he's just kind of been.
But I think, too, the question is the most pressure, too, right? Like, so we can say,
Kyle
like,
Neptune. Kyle Neptune.
That's good.
Like, 18 and 16 last year, piss poor in conference. Like,
there's a lot of pressure.
And they had plenty of talent. This is the least talented team he's had at Villanova since he's been there. Can he get them over the hump? I don't see him getting above 500. And they're not patient because they have money. People with money typically aren't all that patient, as you know, McCall.
I think Penny's issues are self-inflicting because of the coaching changes, not just 3 weeks. This has been ongoing with the coaching changes.
Over and over.
Over and over is why I think it's just like that's the self-inflicting part to him.
I mean,
it's
you
hard.
do.
It's hard to have
Stability
any level
these
of
days.
continuity.
Yeah.
It's hard to win.
Kyle is following a legend, man, and it's hard doing it. And when you look at the guys, the recent guys that have followed legendary coaches, even Red at Syracuse, you know, they've answered the bell. Hubert at Carolina, Shire at Duke. These guys have followed legendary coaches, and they've hit the ground running, so to speak. And this team is like T.O. I thought last year's team I was really high on it, just never figured it out, and they got to figure it out this year.
Yeah, and the problem is he couldn't win when he had rosters that were better than the majority of the teams that he was playing against. And now you don't, right? Like it's not as good of a group of players as they have. And now he's going to have to win it with his coach. Like, he's got to prove it.
Yes.
I don't know if they end up having a year that is kind of where some of us are expecting them to be. I think they're probably like in that 8 to 10 range in the Big East this year.
It's
If
interesting.
he ends up there, like, he's taking a step back every season. Like, it's tough. And I like Kyle, man. He's a good dude. He's been good to us. He's the best dressed guy in the Big East.
Has everybody gone?
I got one more.
I do have one too. Go ahead.
Okay, you go
And
ahead.
then I'm going to go with Buzz Williams. Texas A&M has not lived up to expectations. I'm seeing them get top 15, top 20 in some people's polls. I'm not sold because at the end of the day, they have not been able to package it all together and win. And if this crumbles, that could be it.
The good thing is he'll have a future in social media, posting, giving advice, all that. So he'll be good.
I think it's just a critical year for them.
I
like,
think
they got to
they're
piece
in
it together.
I think they're in a dance. I think
should
they're
be.
too talented. They just struggle early, and then they just figure it out late. But I think this team, this group, I think they'll be pretty good. I'm not worried about Buzz. I think he figures it out.
My guy was Steve Peichel. He's bringing in 2 of the top 3 freshmen in college basketball. He's got a roster that's going to have a ton of hype.
I hear
it's
you.
Rutgers, I know, but you got to when you have this kind of a team and this much talent, and they put decent pieces around them, right?
He's just done enough. I think he's done enough over his time there that.
Well, I'm not. Hold on. I'm not saying he's going to get fired if they lose.
You're just
What I'm
saying
saying is,
pressure.
like, if coach under pressure, like, you got this much talent, you got to win, right?
The,
Like,
the other
there's
one,
any-
the other one we haven't mentioned is the guy in Bloomington. I mean, the guy in Bloomington's got to win this year. They had put out a statement at the end of last year saying he'd be back, Mike Woodson. He's got a huge bankroll, when a lot of guys that are on kind of a little bit of pressure don't get that. I mean, he's probably got the second highest bankroll in the Big Ten.
The old statement of the coach will return.
Yeah, never a good thing.
No, I had someone say that about me one year too, and I was fired the next year. So the old statement of the coach will return, that's
Quickly,
pressure
this
on
is
the
it.
coach.
We got to move on. I would just say,
Go ahead, RC.
Go ahead.
No. My question is about. We keep saying Mike Woodson's name, and there's expectations there. Indiana's still been to the tournament 2 of the last 3 years.
that's a good point, and he is
right?
a legend.
And
Yep.
so
Yep.
I've said this before, and I got crap about it when I said this to you guys. It's too much. The expectations. Indiana suffers from the expectations of being Indiana basketball.
Yes.
well,
The difference now
have
is
money.
you look and they have money and they have a really good roster.
And they're talking. And then they'll win.
They built-
Again, I think he'll be fine.
He'll be
I
fine.
think they'll win enough because I've said this before. They're going to finish. They're going to either finish top 3 in the Big Ten. They're going to either win the Big Ten tournament or they're going to win a game or 2 in the NCAA tournament. He does one of those 3 things, he'll be fine.
Yeah, but look, they
But
have
it's still pressure.
To me, it's a different conversation because he has
Then
a
I'm cutting
team
you off.
that's top, top 15 in the country,
Yes.
right? And it's very difficult for that group not to make the tournament. And if they don't make the tournament, then we can have that conversation.
got, Fanta?
But I think we put in that
Well,
roster.
you
And it's,
brought up the
it's-
one name in Buzz Williams, 2 other names to watch. Steve Forbes at Wake Forest. This is a critical season with the talent that he does possess. And critical year for Wes Miller. Cincinnati has high expectations.
Yeah.
Live up to them.
Yeah.
Hey, they're good
Live
this
up to
year.
them.
They're very
They
good.
should be very good.
I think both of those
Remember,
teams are good.
this is pressure.
And they're
I
just-
think they're a tournament
I
team,
agree. I
but
agree
it's
with that
pressure.
100%.
Pressure's
Yeah.
the word here. I don't think that they're going to be bad, but there's pressure around those programs.
There's build up and build up and build up. West needs to get it done.